Guys, you're here with me, Jen the Taxidermy Witch, and we are going to go through Scott Cunningham's The Magical Household and talk about some nightmare prevention or workings that you can do to be rid of nightmares. And this is a video request. I just can't remember who it was from, so I know that you're waiting for this video. Here it is, and if anybody has requests on videos, just let me know. I'm here for you. And this was the shirt I was trying to show in my last video when I was talking about Kubrick, 2001 Odyssey, and what I was up to conspiracy-wise and looking into. So anyway, let's talk about it. Nightmares. They're not fun, and if you're somebody like, I've had people that are close to me in my life who have experienced night terrors. No, thank you. I'm doing a video. And so, in night terrors, I will probably try to do a separate video on this, but what I believe that is I believe that is a spirit attacking you during your sleep. And there's a lot of different theories on what this could be. But that's a separate video. Now, I'm holding a piece of black obsidian, which I picked up on my last trip over to Idaho. And I grabbed this for $2, you know, and they just had loads and loads of rocks. This is something I found not in this book, but when I was looking through and doing other research on a couple of stones that are good. And besides black obsidian, another stone that's good that I have on hand all the time is amethyst. Amethyst is excellent at keeping nightmares away. This is just a little raw amethyst stone, and then inside of here I have a big chunk of the crystal and the rock. But let me see if at the end of this video, hopefully I'll remember to show you my witch's ladder that I keep above my bed. I've done a video on that. Just look up the Taxidermy Witch witch's ladder, or I say I'll attach the videos, but you guys, I've got so much going on. One of these days I'm going to have somebody help me attach videos. Okay, so let's talk about this book. Scott Cunningham, my father of witchcraft. The man I never got to meet, but feel like I work with every day. He taught me through his books about herbalism. Most of you already know this about me, but I refer to him as Scotty, and I talk to him a lot in meditation. I haven't heard back, but I know that, you know, I thank him all the time. I give gratitude for what I've learned from him. And if you guys haven't seen his YouTube videos, you can actually see his presence. He does like videos on how to make tinctures and all kinds of stuff. So if you've not seen him before, please watch him, because he is such a graceful presence. If you have watched him, comment below and let me know what you thought. So in this book, when I looked up nightmares, it said, to halt nightmares, page 19, 36 through 37, 41, 75, and 115. I went to page 19, and I read it back to front 3 times. Could not find anything. If you do in your book, let me know. And I actually read page 18 and page 20 as well to see if I was missing something. No. Could not find it on page 19. So, now we're on to page... It starts at 35, but in the index it says 36 through 37. Since our bodies are defenseless during sleep, it is important to safeguard them until our return to consciousness. Eucalyptus leaves or conifoil placed beneath the pillow guards our physical bodies, as does a knife under the bed. You guys, even if you had your magical knife under the bed, it's a metal blade is what it is. And between the mattress and the box spring, or laying on the floor. Okay? A small mirror attached to the headboard will reflect any ill that may come near your sleeping body, as will a Silamen or Hoya, a wax plant grown in the bedroom. To promote the bed's contents, or to protect the bed's contents, lay a broom beneath the bed. Well, what is the bed's contents? It's you and your loved one, or just you. So, lay a broom beneath the bed. My suggestion is you make your own magical broom just for that purpose. You know, a lot of witches have besoms all over their house just for certain purposes, you know. And I'm about to make one out of that big apple stick that I got from the border work. And I'm looking for some big twigs to tie on it right now. Apple is great for love, so anytime I feel like the love needs to be refreshed in the house, I'm going to push that apple broom, that besom, through the house. And that's really going to help. So, me saying that is saying that you should make a besom just for under your bed. And make it especially for nightmares. When you're tying it together, tie the knots and visualize. Visualization, if you don't do meditation, then your biggest helper is going to be visualization. I know I've been saying for a long time that I'm going to do meditation videos, and I just want to do them properly, you guys, because there's a million out there, but I don't feel like any of them are the way that I do it. And I feel like that's a really personal space. Some people don't want to share their altars. I'm like, yeah, you can see my altar. It's my altar. You can't see my spirit's altars, but you can see mine. But you know, it's harder for me to tell how to do a meditation because that's more personal to me. But I'm really going to try for you guys. So, to protect the bed's contents, lay a broom beneath the bed. Anoint the posts with a protective essential oil, such as sandalwood, rose geranium, rosemary, frankincense. Then sprinkle a circle of salt around the bed while inside the circle's perimeter. So you would be standing in your bed with a bowl of salt, like kneeling. And then you would put it around the bed's perimeter while you were inside of the circle or inside of the bed. And you shall be guarded against all ill until morning. So basically, if you are having trouble with nightmares, do this every night. It may seem repetitive, but if you suffer with nightmares, you understand that that's an easy thing to do if I can get away from this. Nightmares are terrifying in the moment. You know, I've seen my husband in a night terror once or twice in the 6 years I've known him, and it's terrifying. You're paralyzed, you cannot move, but you're awake. So, if you need this working, then every night's no big deal, just like doing some salt every night. And you shall be guarded until morning. Sweep up the salt with the broom when you rise. So that broom that's under the bed, that's for sweeping up the salt every morning. And you make it a nightly ritual. And if you suffer from nightmares or anything else during sleep, then this is something that you'll probably want to do. So now it goes on to talk about ills and things. So we're done with that. Oh, nightmares. The mare that brings bad dreams in the night have long plagued us. Their origins are still open to speculation, but fortunately, there are time-honored methods of ridding ourselves of these monstrosities. A hold stone. I just moved it. I just had this on my... Oh, Jennifer! Oh, Jennifer. Kubrick! Okay. Hold stone. A hold stone. I found this at the Columbia River. And this is certainly a big river stone. Okay, so this would be great placed under the bed to ward off nightmares because it's a fully hold stone. It's not your common Hag Stone you'd find, but that would work just fine too. If you don't know what a Hag Stone is, I've made a video on it. a hold stone placed under the bed or tied to one of its posts. So if you had a Hag Stone, you could tie it to one of your bedposts. For instance, saves one from bad dreams, as does a knife or bit of steel placed beneath the bed. So if you don't have a knife, but you have a sheet of steel, like we would in our house because my mom does metal art, and so we have big flats of steel around, and she has scraps of steel. I mean, that's what I should be utilizing them for, is little under the bed charms, right? Gosh, Jen, make notes of these things, you know? So if anybody has a welder in the family, they're going to have scraps of metal, scraps of steel. So place it beneath the bed. Purslane. What is purslane? P-U-R-S-L-A-N-E. I have no idea. Laying on the bed, and vervain or mistletoe twigs hung on the headboard do their part in fighting off nightmares, as does a bit of wood betony or some silver under the pillow. Sleeping with your hand full of silver under your head, under your pillow, might not be what your chiropractor tells you to do. But I mean, you could certainly slip off a piece of silver and put it in your pillowcase. You know, you can make a pillow just with these things inside that you put under your normal pillow. There are lots of things that we can do, and we'll certainly be doing a craft or a working together for that. But this, we're just going to be talking here. And then maybe tell me in comments what working you'd like to see me do, and I will certainly do that up for you. Eating balm before retiring. The only balm I know is what? Lemon balm. Eating balm before retiring was once prescribed practice for ensuring a night of pleasant, relaxing dreams, as was sleeping on a small pillow of anise seeds or thyme. So if you're going to make a small pillow, it says anise seeds, so not star anise, but the seeds of that, and thyme. Okay, now we're on to page 41, which actually starts on page 40, and it says, if you are keeping a dream diary, don't look out the window first thing in the morning. To do so, you will forget your dreams. Brand new information to me, and sometimes my dreams come to me in the middle of the day, as I know that your guys's do too. Like something will happen that reminds you of it, and you're like, oh my gosh, deja vu back into the dream, and you're like, oh, get me my dream journal, because literally you have so little time between the time you remember all these vivid details, and it's going to be some crazy time when you're like driving or talking to a friend or something where you can't really like focus on it, is when they seem to come back, in my opinion. So I literally carry, you know, in my witchy purse like a little journal, and then I'm able to, if I get a dream, then take that out and put it into my dream journal. You know, I don't carry my dream journal with me. That's way too personal to be carrying on my person. Oh heck no. But scraps of paper, and then I added to it later. But looking out the window first thing in the morning, I mean, you can see my window, right? There's my bed, first thing, and I keep that open all night long. I let the moonlight shine down on me, okay? But the first thing I do is wake up and I look out the window. Now, what I should be doing is waking up away from the window, closing the window, or as soon as I see daylight when I wake up in the middle of the night, closing the window, and then when I really rise, write in my dream journal, and then open the window, do my meditations, what have you. But it says right here, if you are keeping a dream diary, don't look out the window first thing in the morning. To do so is to forget your dreams. If you are plagued by constant nightmares and nothing seems to work, rise in the morning after experiencing one and describe the entire dream to the sun. You shouldn't be bothered again. Such a cool communication with Ra, the Egyptian god of the sun, to say, I mean, if it was me and you're telling a story to the sun, that's personal to me. You know, you're on the level with my Egyptian deities, and I think that that is rock and roll, Scotty. So yeah, I will be having conversations with Ra if I have a dream and being like, here's the whole dream. And you're literally sitting there talking to yourself, is what an onlooker would see. Just do it in your own privacy so you don't feel embarrassed. We shouldn't, you know, like, our ego will slowly get smaller as we go into witchcraft and learn more about the universe and who we are and where our place is and how everything's connected and so vast. But certainly, you know, in the same note, it's just such a, like, cool way of connection. Alright. It isn't wise, in magical thought, to leave a bed empty for too long. Who knows what kind of energies may settle there? So, if you must be away from home for some time and want to return home to a safe, clean bed... And I have to interrupt this thought by saying, if you sleep in a room like I do, like, don't have spirit altars in here. If you sleep in a room like this, you need to have your spirit altars and your spirit offerings and your spirit candle burnings, even your ancestor candle burnings, out of the room you sleep in. You can have all your other altars, your gods, your goddesses, but if you're actually calling upon spirits for conjure and such, no, no, no. Because you are your most vulnerable when you sleep. And to be quite honest, things can get muddled between the veil. And you might be asking for something in a way that's not clear, or, you know, things can get lost through translation. So you don't want to sleep in the same space that you do any kind of offerings to ancestors or spirits. Now, I've heard that people do 20 years doing this and they're just fine. Well, then I also heard someday it will catch up with you. It will happen to you. Something will attach to you. So take that as you will. But me hearing that has changed my mindset. And so I either, like, for the 2 weeks that I had those things in here, I was sleeping terribly. And it could be because, you know, I heard that. But either way, as soon as I moved them out of my room, things were better. Alright. So now I have to say, so if you must be away from home for some time and you want to return to a safe, clean bed, tuck a broom into it, laying the bristles on the pillow, so upside down. If you have a broom reserved exclusively for magical practices, you can use it. Nothing will disturb a bed so guarded. I think this is really cool, you guys. And also, if you do for some reason have those spirit offerings and ancestor offerings in your room, keep a broom in your bed the whole entire time you're not in it. That is my best advice to you, because I don't know enough about it to say one way or the other whether you're going to be okay. And every situation and everybody's power and everybody is different. So I would never be able to say one way or the other whether that would happen to you or not. So yes, that was cool information. Really like that. Now we're on to page 75. Alright, so a gray... Where are we at? Tying several feathers together and hanging them over the bed prevents nightmares. Well, I'm going to show you my witch's ladder right now that I've made. And like I said, I've done a video on it. But I want to show you how it hangs above my bed. Okay. Up there, it hangs from a string at the top of the staff and comes down. And my pillow is there. It's literally right above my head when I sleep. There's 3 big amethyst chunks, loads of peacock feathers, a key. Where's that key? Taxidermy, a jaw for communication. I need to show you the key. Key. And then at the very bottom, another big chunk of amethyst tied in black hemp, and that literally hangs right over my pillow every night while I sleep with that piece of taxidermy and that spirit of that animal. Okay? So, I think that's where we're meant to be. Alright. So, now we're on to page 115. Yeah. Okay, when nightmares are a problem, let a broom sweep them away. Hang one on the bedroom door and place garlic beneath your pillow. You should sleep peacefully. Then it goes on to sweeping spells and stuff. So that's what we've got out of this book, Scott Cunningham's The Magical Household, which I'm so enthralled and in love with. Like, if you sat here for 2 hours, you could, or 2 or 3 hours, you could read this whole book from start to finish and be like, I could make a YouTube channel just off this book, like if I did every spell, you know, or made an alteration on every working. It's really exciting stuff, you guys. And also, I have to credit this. This is not just Scott Cunningham. It's by a man also named David Harrington. And David Harrington, as far as I understand from the stories, was just a Scott Cunningham fan and close friend. And he was like, dude, when are you going to make that book on Magical Household? Dude, when are you going to make that book on Magical Household? Da-da-da-da. Finally, he says, it sounds like you're going to have to help me make it. And then they got together and they made it, man. And that's so cool. It's $13.99 US. It's not a lot. And for the, like, I've paid $40 for a book, or $50 or $60 for a book, and gotten not even a quarter of what's in here. For a big book, you know? So this is one I have to say, like, if you need help with ideas creating spells, or, you know, these things, they just give you a couple of things that will help. It almost makes you create your own spell in that aspect, right? Like, you know, if you know that hanging feathers above the bed are good, and putting this below the bed, and da-da-da-da, like, you're going to end up making your own version of whatever it is that you want out of this. So, I'm really happy that we did this video, and I'm really sorry I couldn't remember who I made it for, but I know I'm making it for a lot of you. And, this is the nightmare video, and, Jen the Taxidermy Witch, thank you for visiting us, and come back because we'll be talking more about witchcraft. Bye, you guys. Have a great day.